right, here we go, live and amplified on a Wednesday night. This is the Inland Sports Show. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in each and every Wednesday as we bring you all the latest news here in the Inland Empire, our Inland Sports Show coverage area. And of course, right now, this time of the year, it's a lot of high school football, and that's what you're going to get tonight. Some football, some girls flag football as well. We got some great interviews coming up with the Hillcrest Trojans, the Beaumont Cougars. But before we get to any of that, I need your help. I need your input. I need your feedback, your expertise. So you guys know, during the high school football season, we do our Boost Top 25 poll, which will now be known as the Bass Top 25, where we rank the top 25 teams in the Inland Sports Show coverage area. And I think some weeks we even name a couple of the bubble teams, some of the teams looking to crack into the top 25. So before we release our preseason Bass Top 25, we want to hear from you. The best way is to just tweet at us, send me a direct message. Maybe I'll post this a picture on Instagram. You can just comment on it. But we want to hear, how would you rank the Bass Top 25, at least for the preseason? So just as a reference, these are not the preseason rankings. I'm going to say that a little bit louder for the folks in the back. This is not the preseason rankings. These are the rankings from last year. I think it was after the quarterfinal round of the CIF playoffs. This was the final Boost Top 25 from last year, just as a reference. Take a look. This is how the season ended last year with the teams and their records, just as a reference if you're trying to figure out what teams we covered, how did they do last year, to make your own preseason top 25. But I'll be honest, the preseason top 25 is probably going to look very similar to our final Boost Top 25 from this past year. Okay, so Centennial is at number 1. No one's going to dispute that. But I think the real question is, who is number 2? Murrieta Valley, Chaparral, Beaumont, Vista Murrieta, San Jacinto. I mean, you can make a case for any of those teams. The top 10 is going to be very, very difficult. We even had Norco come in at number 10 because they played a brutal schedule last year. They got another tough schedule this year, but last year was exceptionally tough. And then you can see on the other side, 11 through 25. I think there will be some changes there. Maybe not drastic, but I think in our preseason poll, it will change a little bit. But with all that said, I do want to hear from you. How would you rank the preseason top 25? So again, it's easy. There's multiple ways you can let me know. You can send me an email at inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. You can message me on Twitter. You can message me on Instagram. Your input, your feedback will be used when we put together our preseason top 25. Yes, I have a lot of influence on it. Yes, I do talk to my media friends that actually cover high school football that I trust. They know what they're talking about. But I also want your input. I want to hear from you. Maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're a player. Maybe you're a former player. Maybe you're just a fan here in the Inland Sports Show coverage area. So we just want to hear from you. We will put out the Boost preseason top 25. Let's see. Today is the 30th. So probably not next week, but the week after. So what would that make that? See, first, second, third, 4, 5, 6. So maybe the week of the preseason scrimmages for high school football. So what would that be, like the 13th? I want to say August 13th. So we got about 2 weeks. You can send me your information on your Bass preseason top 25. And again, I will use it. I will calculate it. I will take your input and we'll crank out our preseason top 25. Okay, with all that said, I just want to put that out there because I do need your help. That's how you can engage with us here on the Inland Sports Show. I appreciate it. All right, now we're going to get to some high school football interviews. We're going to start with the Beaumont Cougars, the defending Sunbelt League champions of the world, Division II in the playoffs from a year ago. And they're back, and they got a really good team. Head coach Jeff Steinberg always does a great job everywhere he goes, and he's been a lot of places. I'm hoping I'm not leaving one out, but Burroughs, A.B. Miller, Santiago, Rancho Verde, Beaumont, I think I got it, Coach. You correct me if I'm wrong. But he's won everywhere he's been. But now at Beaumont, he might have the most wins in a single place by the end of the season. He might have more wins at Beaumont than any of those other places that he's been a head coach at. So without further ado, the Beaumont Cougars right here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. All right, join us now on the Inland Sports Show as we continue our high school football previews as we get ready for 2025. We got to check in with the Beaumont Cougars, your defending Citrus Belt League champions, Division II in the playoffs last year. Coach, I mean, is this everything you dreamed of? You know, win league titles and, I mean, Division II, that's big boy football. I mean, you guys had a great year last year.
We did. And, you know, in terms of, you know, like you said, is this kind of what I dreamed of and stuff, is just being able to coach in where I live and build it. And I really feel like it's happening at the right pace, and we're going in the right trajectory, all those great things. I feel like because we're doing it the right way, great things have happened, and we've got great things on the horizon.
All right, Coach, I'm going to put you on the spot. I don't know the answer. Hopefully you do, because I'm going to ambush you with this one. But you have won everywhere you've had stops as a head coach, all right? So where have you had the most wins at? Most
wins, well, I was at Burroughs for 8 years.
Yeah.
So we had 60 plus wins in those 8 years. Started off slow and then got it on a roll. We're getting there here.
That's what my point. Here. Like, I would assume at Beaumont, you're getting pretty darn close to having the most wins at a single place for you, right?
Yeah, I think we will surpass the total wins at one school for my family here at Beaumont this season. You know, we had that one season that was a 5-game season that you know, mucked things up or whatever. But yeah, like, you know, it's been great, and you know, this is home. This is home.
So, Coach, I notice you're not at practice. Where are you? What are you doing right now?
Well, this is the pipeline. I'm at Junior All-American practice here at Beaumont.
Dad mode, right? I'm coach and parent.
Total dad mode. We put the chair down, we sit, and we watch.
Are you good? Are you good at watching? Can you turn that coach switch off?
I've heard that I'm probably a little too good at that. Why don't I say more? That's not my job. Just here to support.
Well, Coach, we got a couple of your studs on the line as well, and I'm going to jump to them. Let me start. I'm just going to go from right to left on my screen. Christian Martinez, offensive line. Christian, what's up, man?
What's up? What's up, man? What's up,
hey, Pat? So listen, you guys had a great year last year. Division II for playoffs, a league championship, and a really competitive Citrus Belt League. What do you feel like the goals are for this year's squad? Do you want to take it a little bit further this year?
I want to defeat our non-league. It's probably the hardest non-league we've ever had, and I want to pursue D2 again, but this time we take it. We take it all the way.
Yeah, D2, man, is no joke. There's some really good teams, but you brought up a great point. You guys are playing some really good teams in non-league play on top of the CBL to get you ready for a potential playoff run. When you look at that non-league schedule, what gets you excited about that, Christian?
The competition, it's a lot higher than when it's been the last 2 years I've been up here. So I'm excited to see new people.
But no trip to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, Coach Steinberg. Come on. I thought you guys would be going to Alaska or somewhere exotic. But, Christian, but you do play some good teams at San Jacinto in that first game, right? That's a big one.
Yes, sir.
That's a rivalry game now, I would assume, right? Beaumont and San Jacinto, that's a rivalry game. So do you feel like in those non-league games, you're going to find out, you're going to learn a lot about this Beaumont team, like how good you guys are through those first 5 games of the year, Christian?
I for surely think we're going to find out where we are team-wise in the first 5.
All right, so obviously you're a big boy up front. So where would you say the strength is on this year's Beaumont team?
I think the strength is, I think it's our front 5.
It's got to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Christian, I'm going to jump to your guy, Matt Casas, linebacker here for the Cougars. Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Not as good as you, man. Who does your hair?
One of my coworkers, she also does hair on the side, so she'll do my hair for me.
Can we do that for Coach Steinberg? Like, what do we got to do to make this happen?
I don't know. I'd love to see that happen, though.
Matt, let's talk about this year's schedule, especially that non-league portion. Obviously San Jacinto's big. I think you got Vista Marietta on this schedule. Cathedral's always tough from the Los Angeles area. What gets you excited about this non-league schedule in terms of finding out how good you guys are going to be this year?
No, I'm just excited to set the tone going into this really tough non-league schedule. It's gonna allow us to see where we're at going into the rest of the season. It's going to be a lot of tough competition, but I know if we play up to our level, there's no reason, we shouldn't do our thing and succeed in this non-league schedule.
So, Matt, when I think of these Coach Steinberg teams, everywhere he's been, man, they've had great offenses. They've scored a lot of points. But tell me about this Beaumont defense, man. Do you think that defense might be, what you guys hang your hat on, or maybe the difference, being a good team to a great team? Talk about this Beaumont defense. What do you think you'll be able to do this year?
Yeah, well, I've always been told that offense scores offense wins games, defense wins championships, I believe in that, I think we got a really good squad on defense this year. We've been working all through spring ball, all through summer ball. We keep getting better as the weeks go on, and I think we got a really solid squad this year.
Last year you guys were really good, but tell me something about this year's team that might be kind of special or unique. Something about maybe the defense or just the team as a whole that you're like, man, this year feels kind of special. Like it's just different this year.
I'd say the connection we have as a team. From sophomore year we went to Utah. Junior year we went to Hawaii, and that just all brings us together as a team. It's a lot of team. We're just bonded very well together as a team, and I feel like that connection we have together just makes something really special.
Man, I think you were right, Matt, for sure. Let me go to your guy, Brian Shatswell, defensive line, talking more defense. Brian, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good, Brian. So, listen, your hair's not as cool as Matt's, but it's a close second, man. Like, what is that, like a half mullet shaved on the sides? What's going on there?
Yeah, going for kind of the modern mullet type of look.
The modern mullet for the modern man, dude. That's awesome. But Brian, I was just talking to Matt, about this defense. Beaumont is going to score points. The offense is going to do its thing. Do you think really the difference maker this season could be how well the defense steps up against some really good teams that you guys are going to face this year?
Yeah, definitely. Especially because we got a really young squad on defense this year. A lot of juniors on in the starting 11. So, and that I really think the defense will separate us from the other teams we play.
Brian, go back to last season. What did you guys learn about this team last year? Because I feel like, Beaumont's been good for the last several years. I feel like last year was really like the coming out party. Like, okay, Beaumont is legit. One of the best teams in the IE, one of the best teams in the Southern section. I mean, Division II for playoffs. That's huge, man. That's big boy football right there. So what did you kind of discover about this team or this program last year that kind of gets you confident or optimistic going into this season?
I just really realized that we could compete with all the top teams in the IE and SoCal. So.
Well, you had to trade in a trip to Utah or a trip to Hawaii to a trip to Vista Marietta. Doesn't have the quite same ring to it, but Vista Marietta is a really good team. So when you look at your non-league schedule, and I think Vista Marietta is the last non-league game before CBL play, but in this non-league schedule, what are you hoping to see from the Cougars? What are you hoping to do defensively in those first 5 games?
Really just putting up a fight against those teams. They're all really good teams, and definitely the best teams we've seen from playing at this school.
And Brian, I probably should have mentioned this a lot earlier, but defending a Citrus Belt League championship, right? There's some really good teams in the CBL. You guys had some battles. You beat Cajon. I think it was 34-31, I want to say it was a tight game. I would assume that's the first goal, right, for this year is to bring home another league championship?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think it's going to take?
Just a lot of us really coming together as a team during games and really just pushing each other during practice.
Well, you guys got a really good team, Brian. Let me go back to Coach Steinberg. Are you still out there, Coach?
I'm here.
All right, so what do we got to do to get you a modern mullet or one of Matt's things going on?
It's funny because since you said something like that, I've been really worrying. I don't know at this point in my life if I'm up to something like that, but it would take a pretty terrific. How
about this? A 10-0 regular season.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll break it up into 2 seasons. So we go 5-0 in non-league, which is a heck of a challenge, as you know. I'll do the spider web like Matthew Casas.
Okay.
And then we finish it off 10-0, which is a huge challenge because we've got some great competition in league. We'll do the modern mullet.
That's awesome. All right. This has been documented. I'm recording this. It'll live forever on YouTube, so you guys all heard it. Coach, listen, I always appreciate the time. Thank you for always jumping on the Inland Sports Show. You have a million things going on, but you always make time for me, so I do appreciate it. All right. That's Coach Steinberg, Christian, Matt, Brian. Thank you guys so much. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. That's the Beaumont Cougars here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
All right, good stuff right there from the Beaumont Cougars. Man, I have known Coach Steiny since his Burrows day, which is going way back. And again, like he's won everywhere he's been, so it could be another big year for Beaumont. But they definitely want to go deeper in the playoffs. And if they have another big regular season, they'll at least be Division II again. They're pretty good. They got a lot of returning players, especially on offense, including their quarterback, Doohoo. Okay, let's see. Next up, we got the Hillcrest Trojans. But first, we are going to take a quick commercial break. We still have the Hillcrest Trojans. We're going to check in with the JW North girls flag football team. And we've got a brand new bass training tip from the one and only Boost Man Ray Bass, still coming up on this edition of the Inland Sports Show right after this. The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student-athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. For more information on the Bass Private School, visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today.
Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Okay, we're back here on the Inland Sports Show. If you're just joining us, give us a like, subscribe to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And we've got more high school football. We're going to have a lot of high school football the next couple of weeks as we get ready for 2025, which is upon us. I know most teams now are in helmets. The pads will be out shortly. Here we go. Week 0, Friday, August 20th. Some teams, though, even playing that Thursday before, which would be August 21st. I know a lot of teams have their preseason scrimmages on that Thursday, which would be August 14th. So, man, basically we're like 2 weeks away from really starting the season, which is unbelievable. But can we all agree? The weather this summer has been crazy. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it, but the summer weather has been very, very mild, man. I don't know about you guys where you live, but where I'm at, very mild so far this summer, which has been awesome. So hopefully it'll stay that way when we get to week 0 in a couple of weeks here. All right, high school football, the Hillcrest Trojans set up to have a big year, but they play in a very tough Sunbelt League. If you remember last year, Hemet and Rancho Christian had great years, but it was a real logjam in the middle of the league standings, a battle for third place. Valley View, Riverside Poly, and Hillcrest all finished at 2 and 3. Valley View got in the playoffs. Poly and Hillcrest did not. Hillcrest had a winning record. They were 6 and 4. They got a lot of guys back. They've got some great skill position players like Nick Shaw. They got some big guys up front. They're going to cause some problems. And Travis Carter likes his team, and they open up with Corona in week 0. So without further ado, the Hillcrest Trojans right here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show, another high school football preview as we make our way towards the 2025 campaign, which is right around the corner now. Joining us on the program, the Hillcrest Trojans, including head coach Travis Carter and 3 of his studs right there. And coach, we all want to know, man, how's Hillcrest looking right now this summer?
Well, hey, first off, Pep, appreciate you having us on here and letting us showcase some of the Trojans here. But, the kids have been working hard. The senior class has been putting in work for 4 years, led by, really good group of kids, including the 3 guys I got here next to me right now. Over here on my right, we have wide receiver Nicholas Shaw. We're excited about him. He's a, 2-year starter, so he's going on, his 3rd year as a starting receiver. And then to my left here, we got returning starters on the offensive line, Isaiah Davis, and on the defensive line, Justin Escalante. And they've been had a really good offseason in the weight room and in their training, and they've really been pushing themselves and pushing their teammates. And, this time of year is really exciting. A lot of unknowns. We don't know kind of what we're about yet, but I'm excited to get to see these guys showcase their talents this year.
Well, Coach, and I'm assuming it's not by accident that, 2 of the 3 guys of your players join us here on the show. They're on the line, right? Like that's where games are being decided, isn't it? And it looks like you got 2 really good ones right there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you don't have a good offensive line or a good defensive line or both, you really don't have an identity as a team. So we always put a lot on our guys up front. They're always our hardest working guys, and we expect a lot out of them. And they give us everything they got day in and day out. And, I'm really excited about these 2 this year. They're both going to be playing both ways a little bit, some offense, defensive line, and really going to be the foundation of our team along with their teammates.
All right, Coach, before I get to your guys real quick, I'm just looking at your non-league right now. Corona, Santiago, Ramona, that'll be a fun one. Temecula Valley and Paloma Valley. I mean, you're gonna be tested, I think, in the those first 5 games. What excites you? What do you like about that 5-game non-league schedule?
Yeah, the whole schedule is really exciting. I mean, obviously we've got to start with game 1. I mean, game 1, Corona High School, going to be a challenge. We're looking forward to it. But, I mean, really overall with the schedule, what we're trying to do is just set ourselves up in non-league to prepare us for the Sunbelt. So last year there was, it wasn't an easy game in the Sunbelt League. So we needed to make sure that our non-league schedule matched that. So that's why we wanted to keep playing the Santiagos and Coronas and Ramona. And this year we added Temecula Valley and Paloma Valley, 2 schools that historically play pretty good football. So we're excited. We understand it's going to be a challenge, and, we're going to have to keep getting better week in and week out. And hopefully this non-league schedule is going to prepare us for the Sun Belt.
Yeah, and real quick on that Sun Belt, man, we called it the Fun Belt because it was just all the games were so much fun. Like every team was good. You had no idea what was going to happen. Unfortunately for you guys, I think 2-3 in league play, and there was a log jam with that 2-3 record. Coach, how do you see the league kind of stacking up again, and how crucial is it to finish in the top 3 so you get that automatic spot to the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I see the league being strong again from top to bottom. I mean, you look at last year, Rancho Christian won the league. And then got beat by Hemet in the playoffs that first round. Arlington lost to Rancho Christian by, I think it was 1 score. So from top to bottom, the league was tough up and down, and I expect it to be the same this year. I think Rancho Christian and Hemet are going to be really good again. Pauley is going to be really good. Arlington's going to be really good. Valley View. So again, I think from top to bottom, there's no easy game in that league schedule, and you're going to have to, come out to play each and every week. You can't have an off week, and you got to be prepared. So we're looking forward to it. We know it's going to be a challenge, but it's exciting. We get to kind of redeem ourselves from last year and kind of make up for what happened there at the end.
All right, Coach, let me talk to your guys. Listen, I'm a big Nick Shaw fan, but I got to start with the guys on the line. And I'm going to start on the end, Justin Escalante. And Justin, what has impressed you about this year's Hillcrest team through your summer workouts? I know the helmets just came out, but what has impressed you? What do you like about this year's team specifically?
What I really like about this year's team is the ability to take leadership, and everyone is really involved in getting each other better in the weight room and outside of weight room. I see a lot of people asking everyone, "Oh, you want to get field work? You want to work on some plays? You want to work on everything?" And I feel like every day we at least get 1% better in weight room. I see everyone getting really strong or wanting to get stronger, and they always go with the stronger people, always wanting to get better. So I like that. I know everybody wants to get better, and I just like how everyone's so intense. And when we're on the field, we really play the intensity of the game, and it really matches. And I feel like that since we have that much intensity inside of practice, I feel like we're gonna do really great in games. So I really like how, even though on the field, off the field, we really know it's all love, and I like how we really get 1% better every day.
So it sounds like your practices are probably pretty competitive, right? Because iron sharpens iron. You got to get the guy next to you better, right? So in that first game of the year against Corona, everyone's ready to go, right? And for the seniors too, do you guys feel like, and I'll go back to Justin on this, your responsibility to make sure everyone else is ready to go? I know Coach does a great job, but as seniors, do you feel like there's some leadership role in that too?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like there's leadership in everyone on the team. Sometimes you expect people that you wouldn't expect to take leadership. When someone's down, they try to talk to them, try to do it, and they just become a leader. So basically everyone on the field is a leader on our team, and I just really like that about how everyone takes initiative on the field. And it's not just seniors, it's really all of us together working as a team.
All right, good stuff, Justin. Let me go to your guy next to you, Isaiah Davis, also a lineman as well. Might see a little offense, might see a little defense, might see a little bit of everything for Coach Carter and Hillcrest. And Isaiah, what do you like about the line, whether it's offense or defense? Do you feel like the line on both sides of the football might be one of the strong points on this year's Hillcrest team?
Absolutely. Everyone on the defensive side and the offensive side are really hard workers. Usually, we have some people, but everyone in the group is completely hardworking. You know, I always have guys like even freshmen, sophomores that are like, "Hey, let's get working." You know, I don't have to tell them to get working, and they hold accountability to themselves. We just have a really hardworking class of linemen this year, and I'm really excited to see them in game.
You know, what do you think is key, Isaiah, to be dominant on the line? Obviously, you got to be big and strong, but what do you think makes a dominant line?
Just the work ethic, you know, just how aggressive you play. You know, are you really like if you're not fast off the line, if you're not being as strong, are you working on that with off of practice and preparing for games, which all our people do, and that's what I love about this year's offensive line and defense.
All right, good stuff, Isaiah. And finally, Nick Shaw on the other side. Love the receivers, love the offense, love touchdowns and scoring points and all that good stuff. So, Nick, how's the offense looking right now, man? Are we going to see a dynamic Hillcrest offense this season?
Absolutely. I feel like our offense has been, to be honest, the best that we have in a minute. Even though we're young, we have some young ones such as sophomores and juniors that are stepping up and taking big roles into playing offense. But overall, I feel like we're coming out here to dominate no matter what. Even like when we have adversity, we may have people that go down. We always have the next person ready to step up, take leadership, and come out there and dominate. And I love that about my offense because without them, it's really not a team. But we continue to push each other every day, beat every day. Yeah.
And Nick, Hillcrest they've had good teams the last couple of years, and you've been a big part of that. What do you think makes this year's version of Hillcrest unique? What is this year's team? Why is it special? Why is it unique? Why do you feel like it's different maybe this year?
I feel like this team this year is more unique because we're younger, and I like seeing underdogs. Even though they may not fit the size requirement or the height requirement, it doesn't matter. They come out here to play and dominate with their hearts. I can see that every time they step on the field. They come out here to play, ready to play no matter what, who is in front of them, no matter what.
It's the size of the fight, right? And finally, Nick, I mean, not making the playoffs last year, is that the first goal of this year's team is, man, punch your ticket to the playoffs?
Absolutely. Making it to playoffs is like the dream right now. That's the real goal right now.
All right, Coach, let me go back to you to finish things up. Here I am talking playoffs. We hadn't even played the first game of the season, but you you open with Corona, and then you said you had a scrimmage against Patriot in the previous week. So let me even just talk about that scrimmage first against Patriot. Obviously you're not giving away all your secrets, but what are some of the things that you're just hoping to see from your team in that scrimmage against Patriot to get you ready for that week 0 game against Corona?
Yeah, I mean, even these next couple of weeks, I mean, we get to go full pads next week for the first time. We've been in kind of, the 7-on-7 summer world for the last couple months. And I'm just ready for us to get out there in real football situations where there's blocking, there's tackling, and kind of see who's who. Like I said, there's a lot of unknowns right now. You've got a lot of, hey, I think this kid could do this. I think that kid can do that. I think this unit will be strong on the team. And really, you're not going to know until we get those pads. So at this point, we're really not even focused on the scrimmage yet or game 1. It's just, hey, can we have a good practice tomorrow? All right. And then from there, can we have a good practice on Thursday? So we're just trying to keep stacking days right now and get better because we got a long road to go, a lot of work to do. Obviously, we got tough schedule this year, both non-league and league. So we're ready. We're excited to like these guys have kind of echoed is like they like putting in work. They like working hard. They like getting better. They've been itching to be, in full gear, and especially these two guys over here, they've been kind of talking, mess back and forth to each other. They're ready to line it up and go after each other. So we're excited to, put those pads on and start playing real football again, and I know Patriot's going to be, a good little test for us in the scrimmage. Got a lot of respect for Coach Fowler, their program, back to our River Valley League days. We've had, some good battles back and forth between that school. So it should be a good test for us. Hopefully get us ready for, that first game against Corona.
Inland Sports.
Man, I think the Sun Belt's going to be an absolute war again this upcoming season. It was so much fun. All the teams are good. It's very balanced in terms of that rain cross conference, so the teams they put in each league. That Sun Belt's right there, smack dab in the middle tier. And, man, it's going to be a battle for not only that league championship again, but also who's going to make the playoffs. I mean, ask Hillcrest, ask Pauley. You can't leave anything to chance. Valley View had the same record league-wise and got into the postseason. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And for Hillcrest, tough non-league schedule. It all starts with Corona coming up in week 0, which there could be some big news about that game. We'll share that on social media if that happens. All right, we're going to take another quick break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we'll have a brand new bass training tip with the boost man, Ray Bass, and we'll also talk some JW North girls flag football. The Huskies made it to the CIF semifinals last season. Can they do it again? We'll check in with head coach Damon Morton next here on the Inland Sports Show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. For more information on the Bass Private School, visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken.
And we keep getting these trades, these big contracts rolling in, and now the Clippers have gotten into it as well. They are landing Bradley Beal, and he's a big-time scorer. I don't know if he's a superstar, but the guy can sure score. So the Clippers now have a new big three when you pair him with Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, as Bradley Beal comes over from the Phoenix Suns. And I think gotta be honest, I mean, these guys are getting older. I think the window is very short for the Clippers. I think they've got a season or two to try to do this. If not, got to go young and kind of maybe start over.
Right. This Beal deal, that's what we can call it nowadays, does have that feeling of, wow, this would have been really great about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No,
you're right. I mean, you're right. I mean, these guys are a little long in the tooth, but they're all still pretty good. Yeah. But I think it's a very short leash. Like this year, maybe one more year. I don't know what their contracts, how that's going to work out. I think they're all on the book until 2027. But yeah, that window is very, very small for the Clippers to make a run with this kind of team, with these guys as your superstars. If not, I think you got to go to square one and start over again.
Yeah, I feel a blow up coming.
Yeah, you might be right.
It is feeling like the second half of the season. Who's got the mojo? We're going to find out. Who's hot. It's kind of the baseball thing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Who's going to get hot? We talk about that too. August, September, a team might make a run at the end that we're not expecting. It could be the Angels, could be somebody else. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a lot of fun as we go through these last couple months of the regular season for baseball.
Inland Sports.
All right, we're back, and I was hanging out with Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM. We are back tomorrow morning. If you're watching us live on Wednesday night, we'll be back tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, again on KCAL 96.7 FM, talking sports with Patrick in the morning. Check it out. You can listen to it live on radio on KCAL, or you can watch it right here on YouTube on Inland Sports. All right, before we get to some JW North girls flag football, the Boost Man, Ray Bass, is back from Bass Athletics with another training tip. We just recorded a couple new ones. We've put them in the last couple of weeks here on the Inland Sports Show, but this one is brand new. First time world debut right now here on the Inland Sports Show. Take it away, Boost Man.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Boostman here with another training tip on how to beat your opponent with speed. This is all about developing strength. Come check it out. Okay, so before we get into this training tip, let me just say that if you're an athlete who's trying to get faster, if you're not developing strength, you're crazy, because strength is the foundation of everything. If you want to get faster, you got to get stronger. Here at Bass Athletics, we'll use bands and chains in order to build explosive strength with our athletes. And it's really specific to obviously getting faster. So in this specific example, we're going to use chains, and this is called accommodating resistance. So I'm sure you've seen videos of coaches and athletes using bands and chains on social media. Let me tell you exactly how we use them here at Bass Athletics. So in this example, we have a squat, and we're using chains here. Now, both of these chains together, they're about 45 pounds because we are working with youth athletes. So how I'll program this is we'll use between 50 and 60% of their 1 rep max of their squat, and then we'll increase that every single week. Now, this type of training is called accommodating resistance. And to put it simply, what's happening is at different portions of the lift, that intensity is going to decrease or increase, and the athlete has to accommodate that. So it's a great method to build explosive power, explosive strength that is very specific to speed training. So let me show you exactly how we execute this lift. I'll just have my athletes get under the bar. We'll lift off, take a step back. We'll descend. That descend's either going to be slow or fast. In this example, I'm going to go down nice and slow. We'll pause and relax, and then we got to explode up. Okay? We'll keep the rep range between just a few reps, about 3 reps. And again, at the bottom portion of this lift, this is about 100 pounds at the bottom. It's about 120 pounds at the very top. It's about 140. Okay, so the athletes have to accommodate. They have to push through that intensity at different portions of the lift. And again, this is a great drill to build strength, make it specific to speed. We use it here at Bass Athletics. If you didn't know about bands and chains, if you didn't know how to use these, now you do. Tap into it. Beat your opponent with speed. Boost man.
All right, good stuff from the Boost Man, Ray Bass from Bass Athletics here on the Inland Sports Show. You can find all of the training tips right now on the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. All right, let's talk some girls flag football. Last year, JW North made it to the CIF Southern Section semifinals in Division 4, and they've got some great players coming back. Malia Mayo, CC, their quarterback, in fact, before I should say any more, Cece and Coach Morton are both on the Riverside Sports Update. So if you guys aren't watching that, make sure you check out that. That's on Riverside TV. And if you don't get Riverside TV in the city of Riverside, you can watch it on YouTube as well. So Coach Morton talking about this year's team, girls flag football. They are on the field right now, warming up, getting ready for that first game of the year. In fact, August 9th. I believe there's a bunch of tournaments around. I think Beaumont has a tournament. I know Hillcrest has a tournament. So August 9th, man, which is basically like a week and a half away, girls flag football will get things going. So without further ado, Coach Damon Morton from JW North talking about his girls flag football team at 3rd and Chicago.
Inland Sports.
Be on the lookout for us. I know we're young, and the goal is to always get better, right? So you're Division 4 last year, and even though we're young with a lot of new girls, the next goal is at least step up, right? Go Division 3 and make a splash in the playoffs, and hopefully win a championship. That's always the goal. Still expect to win. I expect girls to show up. I expect them to compete. Part of that is going into coaching. We have a ton of new girls this year. We're really young, but I still expect us to get it done on the field and compete. Last year, like I said, we had a lot of seniors. My JV was maybe like 9-10 girls, and we struggled. I think I had 2 incoming freshmen with a handful of sophomores. So this year, we've actually increased our numbers a little bit. So our JV team will mostly be sophomores and freshmen. I think we have like 6 freshmen and about 6 to 7 sophomores who are going to be good for us on varsity eventually. And my assistant coach is actually the head soccer coach, and so we get a ton of soccer girls because of her, and we get a handful of softball girls. And so the softball girls, what I love about them is that they're used to winning. I don't know if you've paid attention to North softball lately, but they win, right? And so I'm like, I need that winning mindset over here on flag football, and so I'm usually able to get a few girls from there, and they understand. And it's crazy because we kind of had to move some positions around. We have a new quarterback, CC Rodriguez, who is really good at the quarterback spot, especially with these rule changes with the 1-yard rush. She's a really mobile quarterback. She can throw on the move, and she's pretty fast. My running back from last year and middle linebacker, who is a returning all-CIF player, we had to move her positions to give us a little bit more depth and a little more athleticism. She moved to receiver and safety, Malia Mayo, and those are our 2 big returning key players.
Inland Sports.
All right, thank you, Coach Morton. And again, we have more on JW North girls flag football right now on the Riverside Sports Update on Riverside TV, including an interview with CC Rodriguez. She was a linebacker last season for JW North, standout on defense, and now she'll be playing some quarterback for the Huskies this upcoming year. And we will be doing more girls flag football in the coming weeks, just like 11-man tackle football. We'll be doing more girls flag football in the coming weeks to get ready for the start of the season. All right, big thanks to Hillcrest and Beaumont. Always love checking in with the Boost Man, Ray Bass, as well. If you're watching this video, you've gotten to the end of the show, give it a like. And also subscribe to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. And make sure you follow us on social media. And one more quick reminder to send us your Bass Athletics preseason top 25. I'm going to post last year's final rankings on social media just as a reference. Don't freak out. Everyone likes to say, oh, this is the rankings. This is all wrong. That's last year's, okay? This just has a reference point to make a preseason poll for this year. So I'm going to put that on social media probably either tonight or tomorrow morning so you guys can give me your input and your feedback with your preseason top 25. All right, that's going to do it for this show. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. And we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.